the Thicc of the week. Let me repeat it again because I like saying this word so much. The Thicc of the week. Okay. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 22nd to 27th of July 2024. As you can see, I am filming this week's episode from a different location and there might be some echo in my audio this time around because I'm surrounded by cement walls, right? Can't be helped. And the second thing is that because of my outstation, my upcoming coverage on Wonder Festival on the next day, on Sunday 28th, the day this episode is live on YouTube, yeah, there might be a delay in my coverage both on my Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. Alright, now we shall proceed with where I left off, making use of HLJ Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner for genuine figures, and I have selected the stuff I want to cover for this week. Scale figures, and boy, we have a lot of good stuff this week. Too many. And I'm trying not to pre-order any. Right? Okay, so we'll begin with 1x4 scale as usual. Yeah, last week we had a character, I can't remember her name anymore, that short hair girl, which I really like her, that slender woman. This week we have, Shiragiku Ono, air-headed but very kind girl with a huge rack. I like her as well. From the Cafe Terrace, the Season 2 is ongoing currently, 36,000 yen by Free Ink at 1x4 scale March release. Same thing as last week's episode, you can remove her maid outfit and there will be undergarments underneath it, but I am quite surprised by how conservative Free Ink is with her bust size because it certainly feels like it was a lot bigger in the anime. Or maybe it wasn't that big in the manga and then when they do anime adaptations, they want to give you guys more fan service, so they made it bigger, maybe. Yeah, I can't say I would buy, a character or figure from a seasonal anime at 1x4 scale, but if you are a big fan of the manga, you might want to check it out. If there is one thing I don't like is that all 5 girls will be wearing the same exact outfit, and I'm not sure if I want 5 1x4 scale figures having the same exact character design except for the head of a different person, right? Okay, moving on to the next 1x4 scale, we have Nikkei. Yeah, Goddess of Victory Nikkei is becoming very popular in the recent 6 months or so. This time around, Helm Aquamarine, 40,000 yen by Free Ink. The thing is that, I want my Nikkei figures with guns, with rifles, American style. They love their guns. So this one in transparent wet shirt with bikini underneath. I'm not sure if this is what I want. Yeah, I mean like Anis. Yeah, Free Ink's Anis was great. I would love to have one. But this Aquamarine over here, I'm not too sure. But I'm sure she will still sell really well regardless, right? And it seems like you can remove her shirt, I think. I'm using mobile data, so my internet is really sucking at the moment. Oh, I don't think you can remove it. But regardless, she looks nice. Just that I wish that, she comes with a rifle or something. Moving on to the next 1x4 scale, this is a low budget figure from a Chinese brand, Apocrypha Toy. They have like 2 or 3 other figures on pre-order, I think. A very new company. This time around, we have another bunny girl. So many bunny girls. Lilithia at 1x4 scale, only 14,000 yen, coming out in May next year. I mean, if you don't mind collecting bunny girls all the time, 14k is a huge steal for sure. I just don't know if I want to buy so many black bunny girls, but 14,000 yen is really hard to refuse at 1x4 scale, seriously. I mean, I could forgive the figure and the character design the way it is. I can forgive it just because it is so cheap. Yeah, pick up one, right? Goodbye. Moving on to the next one, a 1x5 scale by Orchid Seed. I'm surprised they're using Orchid Seed for this figure, not Tuberosa Plus. I thought they changed their name already. Chichinoe Infinity 2 Cover Lady Sunset. This is based on a magazine cover, the art, I think. I kind of remember this character. This is quite an old character. Anyways, 22,000 yen only for 1x5 scale. Hey, this might be good value. Not my kind of figure. Too plain, too boring, but I guess you could say chrome silver bikini is not very common among anime figures. They do exist, but not very common. If this is your kind of figure, pick one up. And yeah, she is partially customable. Most Orchid figures are. Moving up next, we have one of the best looking figures this week coming from Daiki Kogyo. It is quite a surprise to me. Yeah, very expensive, 1/7 scale, the wage at 32,000, and this is the MILF of the week, the Thicc of the week. Let me repeat it again because I like saying this word so much. The Thicc of the week. Okay. I mean, once you turn the figure around and look at her backside, you couldn't say no to this figure unless you really couldn't afford it, right? Yeah, this is exceptionally detailed for a Daiki Kogyo figure, which is normally a B to B minus tier figure. Very average to me, and sometimes they have some minor QC issues with their cast off mechanism or their paintwork, but hey, this is quite hard to refuse, to be honest. Quite a good buy. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. I couldn't even tell if this was from an isekai anime, seasonal third-rate isekai anime, which is so overdone nowadays, or from Azur Lane, but apparently she is from Azur Lane. I couldn't tell at all. Okay, this is Ayanami Dynamic Kick by Freeing, and being a B style, it is a 1/7 skill. So Freeing just calls everything they make B style. And if you keep calling yourselves B style, you'll never make an A tier figure. You'll always remain as B. 1/7 skill, 24,000 yen. Fair enough. I mean, this is a dynamic pose with some effect parts. I wish that it was a bit cheaper, but yen is quite weak at the moment, so I would say fair enough, right? So would you pick one up as an Azur Lane character? Let me know down in the comments below. Up next, Baiken. Good to see her getting more recognition lately. I think she has like 3 figures, which isn't many, but 3 is better than 0 or 1. But no Bridget, we have too many figures of him already, so it is great to see Baiken getting figures, though this isn't the best one by a long shot. There was another Baiken which I can't remember which company anymore. Great pose, right? Great action pose. I like that one a lot. So this is by Proof, and surprisingly 20,000 yen before discounts, because Proof normally prices their figures at 25k and up. So I have no idea what happens over here. Not like I'm complaining about the cheap price, it is always a good thing. Hey, get one, 18,800 man. That is a great price for Baiken figure. It might not be the best one like I said earlier, but it is hard to find faults with this figure. Right, maybe the second best Baiken figure. I love that base as well. We get a mini diorama but doesn't take up too much space. Nothing much wrong with this figure. Up next, finally we have a Liut Tachibana Kanade figure. I mean, there are a lot of her fans, a lot of them out there who are very frustrated in terms of their, the activity of their reproductive systems is off the charts. They want a Liut figure of Kanade, but they never got one because, yeah, third parties are not making them, and definitely not the genuine licensed figure companies. But finally, we got one. Semi-Liut in a way, because she somehow has removed her One Piece swimsuit over here by Kadokawa, just under 20,000 yen, January release very soon. And yes, even though I don't think I am interested in this figure, even though I am a lolly enthusiast, I can see Kadokawa selling a lot of this figure of Kanade. Yeah, this is definitely the first Liut figure of her. Okay, moving on to the next skill figure over here. 1/7 skill Path to Nowhere Hamel Audio version by Ice Snow Games. I must be some Chinese game that I'm not familiar with. Yeah, let me know if you know something about this character. September release next year, 23,200 yen. This really looks like something Miatos or Apex would do. I mean, judging by the character design and the way the figure is being made all the way down to the base really reminds me of Miatos quite a bit. Who knows they're related, right? Who knows? Let's hope the image loads over here. I'm using mobile data. Okay, I don't know who she is, but this is really pretty. Yeah. And I wouldn't mind having this figure in my collection at all. Just that, due to budget restraints, I have to be really specific with what I buy. Okay, moving on to the next skill figure. This is a surprise. Maybe not so much of a surprise given that Mushoku Tensei Season 2 just finished airing. but there is a critical lacking of figures of Sylvie yet. Yeah, we got Roxy and Aries being made. How many of them? A dozen, maybe? Yeah. There are at least 20 different figures of Roxy, by the way. Aries is a bit less, but still a lot. Okay, this Sylviette in laundry version by Clay now, 20,000 yen. February release quite soon as well. For someone who can be quite horny, this is a very tame looking figure. Yeah, I would expect her to be wearing something a lot more, who knows, a lot more attractive, like garter belts and stuff like that. But she is an elf, so maybe this kind of leaf-like colors and very frilly lingerie suits her very well. Yeah, character design wise, it suits her. So pick one up, really. There are not many figures of her out there. Pick one up. If you love Mushoku Tensei. To me, I have to be honest, I did not like Mushoku Tensei so much, but I have been watching every episode. More like, I am okay with it, but it feels a bit overrated at times, judging by the reaction from the anime community. Moving on to the next one, we have a 1/7 scale Inuyasha Kagome Higurashi by Proof. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Proof prices their figures this much, so it was quite surprised to see Baiken so cheap earlier. Granted, this comes with a diorama base, and I like this base a lot, but 30,000 yen, ouch. And yeah, I wouldn't spend 30k on a classic anime that I don't even like, but no fans of Inuyasha might want to pick one up. I'm quite surprised by how many figures of Inuyasha are coming out lately in the past 1 year or so. Good Smile started the pop-up raids, and then Furio did the Tenitals, and then we had like 2 or 3 skills of Inuyasha characters already for some reason. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, Blue Archive. We have everything this week. Azur Lane, Blue Archive. Yeah, we have 4 FGO figures later on Ami exclusive stuff. Okay, this is Akane Murokasa Bunny Girl version by Max Factory, 24,000 yen plus, May release next year. Now, there are so many Blue Archive figures that I want, but I'm picking the character designs that I like. I'm not buying everything like FGO. Now, being someone who wears glasses, yeah, this is quite hypocritical of me, but I don't like female characters that are wearing glasses. I mean, generally speaking, there may be exceptions. However, for this character, Akane Murokasa, I mean, you factor in everything, not just the bunny suit. She has a really nice jacket over her and a very attractive photogenic pose. I am kind of interested, yeah. Just that I have to be careful with what I pre-order. Blue Archive is going to be, yeah, there is a 50-50 chance the value might go up. Like what happened to Ichinose Asuna by Max Factory, and then they had to re-release it, but at least she is getting a re-release. And yeah, there was another short hair girl, Lolly Girl as well by Max Factory. Value went up as well. No, not Max Factory. That was by, what's the name of the company again? Alphabet S. Bunny suit, red color, and she is sitting on something that looks like a barber's chair. I can't recall the name at the moment. Yeah, that one became rare and expensive as well. So Blue Archive is not something you want to mess with. I pre-ordered Asuma Toki because I know she is incredibly popular. But this one, Akane, I need some time to think. But for those of you who have deep pockets, you don't think twice when you pre-order one, right? Okay, moving on to the next figure over here. Okay, 2 Uma Musume figures from Kotobukiya. The first one is Tokai Teo. Oh no, this is by Alter. This almost looks like a Kotobukiya figure. For some reason, I don't know why. Doesn't look like an Alter figure to me. Anyways, this is by Alter, not Koto, for 23,000 yen. Quite cheap for an Alter figure. June release next year. In my opinion, Alter figure, 23k, no-brainer purchase. For those of you who love Uma Musume, I don't care about Uma Musume, but I have friends who really love the franchise. Yeah, this is a must-have for people like that. The second Uma Musume figure over here is by Kotobukiya, Agnes Tachion, and this is quite a good-looking figure. I actually like her face expression a lot over here. 21,000 yen. Yeah, I love her face so much. And coming out in March very soon. But Kotobukiya, they are a really big company, possibly bigger than Good Smile Company. Their production line and everything, so they can get things out very fast without delaying too much. I rarely see a Kotobukiya figure delay more than 1 or 2 months. Like 1 month is usually the maximum. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. We have two Chinese figures over here. The first one is from Chinese Paladin, Sword and Fairy, Anu Shenmu Miao Ying version. Not sure how it is pronounced in Chinese. I need to see the Chinese characters. By Apex Toys, 23,300 June release next year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know or care about this Chinese Paladin thing. I've seen a few figures from this series already, but I mean, I'm looking at this figure from the character design standpoint alone. A Chinese Tarzan, a Chinese Jane, with more clothes on. Anyways, I mean, there are a couple of monkeys hanging around, not very common in anime figures. So if you like what you're looking at, maybe consider picking one up. Apex Toys is a great figure brand, by the way. And the second Chinese figure is from V Singer, Luo Tianyi. Yeah, a few figures of her already. This is by Full Wheel and Phoenix, 22,000 yen, and that is the bad news, Full Wheel. I know, I give them too much flack, almost in an unfair manner at times, but fortunately, Full Wheel hasn't been making stuff that I want, like FGO or Blue Archive characters. I mean, if Full Wheel one day starts making FGO figures, which I think is very unlikely, it would be quite the dilemma for me, because I want to buy FGO stuff, but then, the brand Full Wheel, anyways, putting aside the brand, character alone, not a big fan of the colors. Like the blue color really stands out, but the gray hair kind of ruins it a bit, Blue and gray are not really matching colors. Anyways, no point commenting further on something I'm not interested in. Moving on to the next figure, we have LB Time to Show Off. From Azur Lane by Golden Head. I should have grouped the Azur Lane figures together earlier with the way I arranged the tabs, but anyways, Golden Head is a relatively good quality figure company. 23,000 yen for all these details. I am tempted, man. I told you guys earlier at the start of today's video, I'm trying really hard not to pre-order anything this week. There are so many good stuff. I just bought my first Azur Lane figure, but an old figure that came out 2 years ago. I can see myself picking up more Azur Lane figures, and this is right up my alley. In terms of what I seek for in a figure, bucket loads of details, and yeah, I'm not sure why you would serve beer while squatting down and taking a dump, taking a shit, but regardless, I mean the whole package here is extremely attractive for just 23,000 yen. I am very tempted. I love Gothic Lolita. Yeah, in case you guys don't know, I love Gothic Lolita, not just Loli, Gothic Lolita as well. I like, women or Bishoujo characters, be it Loli or Big or Pai or whatever, but any female character with huge weapons, I love them as well. Yeah, in short, Gothic is one of my things as well, and these are the kind of outfits you don't see people wear in real life, unfortunately, because if you do, you go out dressed up like this, people will look at you like you are some weirdo. Maybe you'll see it in Shibuya, maybe in Japan itself, but outside of that, you don't see people dress up like this. I would love to date my girlfriend, for example. If I had one, I would love to date someone where she is dressed up like this. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have one single male skill figure, Dimitri from Fire Emblem by Intelligent Systems. They seem to have a grasp on the license of Fire Emblem. Intelligent Systems is the only company making skill figures from this game. Yeah, so I don't see any other Dimitri figures coming out from other brands. Pick one up if you like him. Moving on to the next 5 figures, the last 5 figures on HLJ are all the low-cost scale figures which might be worth your attention. The first one, she is real Gita Mei. Yeah, there was a scale figure of her, was it Hobby Sakura, that came out a year ago maybe? That was great, that figure was great. This is by Bear Panda, and 9,500 yen only. But some of you may say, I don't collect realistic face figures, which I am one of those people. But the good news is you're getting a second faceplate, and Bear Panda is making it really obvious over here that no, please don't go. We'll give you a second faceplate for those of you who don't like the real one. There we go. So this is a good looking faceplate. Consider one, really. Consider one if you like the character design. The next one over here, pop-up rate L size Seiyun Sky from Uma Musume. By good smell, 8,000 yen before discounts, coming out in January very soon. No, this is quite good looking for a pop-up rate, but this is an L, so the quality should be way superior than the normal pop-up rate. The next pop-up rate, Hatsune Miku Little Missing Stars version. Now this looks so weird to me. I mean, it is a great looking figure, but it feels like, she had a bad haircut and then she is trying to make up for it by tying a pair of transparent ribbons to make it seem like she has twin tails, but, her hair is no longer there because she had a bad day at the salon. It feels weird. It seriously feels weird, this character design over here. But overall, the figure looks great. And if you think, you fancy this kind of character design, pick one up, right? Or you can wait until after release. This is normal pop-up rate only anyway. Moving on to the next one, 1x4. Oh, okay. That is all. 3 low-cost figures. The last 2 figures, just a quick mention. This was on Ami last week, not on HLJ. She is now on HLJ, both in 1x4 and 1x6 scale. Riri-chan. And also this figure over here, Fallen Aristocrat Tsubaki Rurikawa. She is now on HLJ 33,400. I think that is slightly cheaper than Ami's pricing, I think. I really want one though. I want one badly. And that is all for HLJ. Now we move on to Ami for exclusive items and also items not yet listed by HLJ at the time of recording. Okay, we'll begin with 4 FGO figures. Actually, the other 2 are from Fate Apocrypha, but I just regard them as FGO because those characters appear in FGO as well. The FGO text, Type Moon text. This is a lot of money. I know she comes with a giant sword, 2 of them, 1 giant sword, and this is something that is a must-have. I am a sucker for saber face figures, man. This is a must-have despite the asking price, except I'm not pre-ordering early. I'll wait until after release, right? It is not like Aniplex exclusive stuff become extremely rare after release, so no, I am not biting the bullets yet. But I am bookmarking the figure and keeping an eye on her. Wait 6 months after release and we'll see. Okay, Berserker Ultra Caster, 35k, big ouch. FGO text once again, August release next year. Must have, period. Must have for someone like me. Okay, the second FGO figure over here, this one I'm skipping. I mean, it is just, Usada Pecora dressing up, cosplaying as Marsh Kirilite. So I don't regard this as an FGO figure. I regard this as a Hololive figure, and that is why I'm skipping it. Okay, by Aniplex as well, Aniplex exclusive. And for Aniplex Plus exclusive stuff, you can either get it on Ami or only Aniplex Plus own website. Yeah, Ninin Game sells it at a premium. Why bother? Okay, 25,000 yen, so much cheaper. And coming out in August next year as well. But if this is your veggie, you like this kind of thing, crossovers, then by all means pick one up. Aniplex makes great scale figures nowadays. The third Fate series figures, this is a pair by Wanderer. We have Jen Diak, original glasses model version, 24k, coming out in June next year. And also, Saber Moderate, for the same price, coming out in July. Okay. So these 2 figures are meant to be together as a pair. I mean, you can already tell, right? Yeah, their poses are meant to complement each other. With this pair of figures, I'm kind of interested. I'm not pre-ordering them yet because of their potential in figure photography. I'm looking at figures from the perspective of a photographer, and their pose looks really natural. It looks like what something a fashion photographer would do when they are taking pictures of fashion models. Dress them up and then a very simple, natural looking pose and taking pictures on the street or in studio. It feels that way to me when I look at this pair of figures, and that is why I want to give them a shot. Okay, waiting for the bargain bin. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is from Uma Musume. A lot of Uma Musume stuff this week. And this is an Ami exclusive because that is what Fat Company does for anything that is regarded to be popular. This is Nice Nature. I know they are based on names of real horses, race horses, but Nice Nature is such a dumb name for an anime character. 1/7 skill, 27k. Yeah, they price it this high just because they can, people will buy it. I love the colors of this thing, very vibrant, very colorful, but I am not collecting Uma Musume stuff. Moving on to the, oh yeah, one last insult on Fat Company. Please get the paintwork done right on all these gold color trims over here. Yeah, all these fine details, that is where Fat Company is the most likely to screw up somewhere, right? Mostly paint bleeding, that is the most common one. And normally they're not very serious, but I need to point it out, right? Alright, moving on to the next one from Niji Sanji, we have Sukoya Kana, 1/7 skill by DMM Factory, only 20,000 yen. I'm quite surprised this is only 20k because figures by DMM Factory are not exactly cheap. And this one is coming out in February next year very soon as well. I'm not touching anything related to VTubers. And man, she is so pale. Is she a vampire? Let me know down in the comments below. I mean, she's so pale and yeah. Oh yeah, she is. Okay, moving on to the next one over here from KD called Kadokawa. Not an exclusive, but HLJ is always late with Kadokawa stuff, Spiritual as well, and a few other brands. Now this is from Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club. They are still beating the dead horse. Maybe popular in Japan but nowhere else. Okay, Karin, Asaka, and Ai Miyashita Supernova version. Very photogenic pair of figures. I love their posts. They're complementing each other very well. 35,600 yen coming out in March 2025. What is up with all the quick release dates? I mean, it is a good thing though that they are shortening the waiting time for pre-orders, but I hope that the quality control is okay. And you can buy them separately, yeah, for about 18k each, though I don't really see a point because they are meant to be a set, you know? Yeah, they complement each other. Okay, moving on to the next one. This has potential to be the whole week's best seller. And for some reason, HLJ has not put her on pre-order yet. Geez, all of the pre-orders have gone to Ami and many other Japanese websites. Sometimes I don't know what they are doing, seriously. Okay, so we have Marin Kitagawa Lee's version, and I have been talking about this figure for so many months over so many Figure News Fix episodes that this is the one I'm waiting for. And it is really worth the wait in my opinion. She is turning out great. This is already one of the best two Marin Kitagawa scale figures already. Together with the Alter version, yes, the best two. I can't decide which is better, but this is definitely among the best two. And any slight differences between this and the Alter version, it is all down to personal preferences at this point. Alter gives you two hits. So back then, I think a few weeks ago, I suggested that you pre-order both. You display the Alter one with the, the original Marin Kitagawa with her blonde hair, and you get the Spiritual version and display her in this cosplay version. I suggested this thing back then, and after looking at this figure by Spiritual over here, yes, I think this is the best move you can go for, assuming you can afford both in the first place, right? Yeah, I mean, if you could only afford one, maybe Alter is the better pick simply because you get two different heads, and after you get bored of looking at one, you can switch it out to the other head. Yeah. Okay, must have despite the price of 26k. Okay, moving on to the next one. What do we have over here? Okay, this is by Rocket Boy, Jiu Ye-sang original character Zena, 1/6 skill. 33,000 yen. Yeah, Rocket Boy is a premium ecchi figure brand. This must be partially customable, must be Rocket Boy we are talking about over here. And I actually look up to them quite a lot. Their figures are great, just that, Blue Archive, FGO, and Nikkei are squeezing my wallet dry, so I really don't have the extra budget to allocate to amazing original art figures like this. It is really sad that I can't have everything that I want, but I think that applies to everyone, right? Every figure collector. And the last 3 figures on Ami for today, edgy stuff, I can't show you much. The first one, Katai Kyoshin, Saimin 2. Yeah, actually the H anime just came out a few weeks ago. I haven't watched it yet. More like I did, but I just went through quickly like a preview. I did not fully watch the entire episode yet. Okay, what is her name? Serena. Okay, by binding at 1/6 scale, 26,400. Sometimes I'm not sure how binding makes their decisions on which figure, which character to do 1/6, which to do 1/4. I'm not sure. They decided to do 1/6 for this one, and then a few weeks ago, the Simon something H anime, they did 1/4 scale bunny instead. So yeah, I don't know what they are thinking. The next edgy figure over here, we have Amazupai's Secret Miho Rurikawa 1/6 scale by Damp Liquid. Yeah, I've heard of this brand before, but I don't know much about them. Almost 30,000 yen. The thing is that, edgy figures in this missionary pose are so common that it is quite hard to convince me to get one unless I really like the character design. And the last edgy figure on Ami for this week, Pleiades Minami Ramune, illustration by Ando Shuki. This one, I like it a lot. For some reason, kind of missionary position as well, but something about the character design that makes me like her a lot. By Pleiades. Okay, at 30,000 yen at 1/6 scale. I need to stop looking at these pictures before I lose control of my urge of hitting the pre-order button. And this is something nearly impossible to import into my country unless I go through certain channels from China, not from Japan. If I get this from Ami and ship it to Malaysia, this thing is guaranteed to get screwed over by the customs. No chance in hell I am getting the figure. I'll just lose money. And before I move on to third parties, a quick mention about the Inside Forts Japan Beeful stuff over at Ninin Game. For this past week, we have quite a lot of them. Well, more like multiple versions of the same figure. The first one here is Hypnotic Obedience Training in the Health Room Miyu. The way they describe figures sometimes can be really entertaining just to read them. 1/6 scale, 19k, or 1/4 scale at 27k. I can't show the bottom half, you already know why, just go and check out the picture yourself. The next one over here, Demonic Master Grammary 1/6 scale, once again, 19k at 1/6 scale and 27k at 1/4 scale. A lot of belts and exposed skin. The next one here, okay, 1/3 scale, one single version only. Hirose Erika, giant lolly with no clothes on. Okay, and then the last 4 figures are the same exact figure. 2 of them from Forts Japan for the Safe for Work version, and then the Not Safe for Work version are by Insight, right? Okay, so this is the Not Safe for Work version. Her pantsuit is down partially, and I chose this picture to show you guys because it is safe. I don't have to censor it. But if you rotate the figure just slightly from the side, you can see the details down there, right? Okay, so we have the edgy version. Of course, you go for the edgy version over here on this one. I mean, the differences are so minor compared to the Safe for Work version. I don't see a point buying the safe version. So 19k, 27k, and then the safe version where her pantsuit is still sticking on somehow, not fully down. So this is the Safe for Work version, 19k, 27k again. Don't bother. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now I move on to third parties, making use of OSGK, which is also our affiliate partner. If you are planning on pre-ordering or purchasing any figures that you haven't pre-ordered yet since a few days ago after it went on pre-order, please make use of our affiliate links to enter any of these websites down in the descriptions below. It would really help out this channel to grow further. Okay, with third parties, we have some nice stuff as well. Not too many. Okay, we'll begin with Anya first as usual because we tend to get many figures of her. Fortunately, this week only one resin figure of Anya by Heart of Toys Studio, $91 coming out this December. Like, why? This is just generic Anya. I mean, if they did something special with it, a funny face expression, or in some cases we have seen so many crossovers, then maybe there is a justification to buy one. Those are the kind of figures that genuine figure companies won't make unless they do an actual collaboration. But this is vanilla Anya Why? Why would I pick this over a price figure, even not to mention scale figures? Okay, moving on to the next one, we have like 5 One Piece figures. We have a lot of them every week. The first one is One Piece Egghead Island CP0 Stose. Sometimes I like to make it sound really weird and in the wrong way when I pronounce this name Stose. Okay, so this is black silk semi-transparent version, $135. There's a white version as well, different color combinations I suppose. And there is one with a Hadaka version. What? Why are all of them $135? Then wouldn't you just go for the deluxe one, right? For the same price? I don't get it. Anyways, yeah, this is the figure you're getting for $135. Yeah, this is entry-level budget territory for resin figures, but with One Piece stuff, they are generally not a bad purchase. Third parties, they tend to get their figures right with this franchise, with this anime or manga somehow. Okay, the next Stose figure comes from GK Studio. One Piece Old Century Buckingham Stose. Ordinary version is going for $117 and deluxe version just an additional hat and the cape for $137. I mean, why save $20 and have something missing from the figure, right? Go for the $137 and get everything in the package. Moving on to the third one, we have Nico Robin by Lucky Studio. Standard version is going for $158 and deluxe version $197. No Hadaka for you. Stop being horny. Deluxe version over here. Deluxe version is, yeah, that wine cabinet behind her. Otherwise, for the standard version, you're getting the base, of course, the bar stool, and the figure. Is it worth the extra $40? I would say yes, unless you don't want, unnecessary items in a figure collection. You have limited space, then maybe go for the standard one, right? Okay, as for the face, I'm okay with it. I think the face looks fine. Here is a zoom in on her face. What do you think? It feels a bit different from the normal Nico Robin, isn't it? But yet, at the same time, it is recognizable that it is indeed Nico Robin. This feels like that ordinary, average-looking woman. She goes on and put on 69 layers of makeup, and this is what you get. So it is like you can still recognize her, but she looks different. Okay, moving on to the next one. Over here we have Nami, Super Nami, wow, from MJ Studio. Non-luminous version, 237, luminous version, 255. I'm assuming LEDs. Why are they calling it luminous version? Yes, correct. Transparent bubble balls giving off light. So you have balls that glow in the dark. Okay, with this Nami, I'm always looking for the face only. Looks great, right? I mean, if you have the space to display one, $255, not a bad purchase at all. Okay, moving on to the next one. One single Boa Hancock figure by KK Studio. Okay, there are 5 versions over here, starting from $116. A1, A2 $129, B1 $116, B2 $129. Okay, and D $127. What is the difference? See, this is the problem I'm having with my mobile data. The images are not loading because OSGK loves uploading super high resolution images to their website. I don't know why they do that. That is normally a bad idea because you're using up so much server space, Okay, I'll move down here and have a look. A1 version primary color version plus cushion. A2 version primary Hadaka plus quilt. Okay, and B1, B2, yeah, seraphim color, different color. And D version, yeah, the serpent, the snake. So does this mean if I bought A1, B1 version, I only get Boa Hancock and not the serpent, which has to be purchased separately? I think so, judging by the list of items mentioned below, right? So if you want the full set, you need to buy version A or B, and then you need to buy the D as well. So it is more like $250, not $129. But that is about on par for a Boa Hancock figure nowadays that includes everything, especially that signature serpent next to her. However, there are a lot of better Boa Hancock figures out there, so this one is a bit difficult to recommend in my opinion. No, she is not bad looking at all. Just that there are better figures of her out there and they are not difficult to find. And the last One Piece figure for this section from Hummingbird Studio Boa Hancock, again 1x4 scale though, and this is like realistic face. Standard version is going for 533, deluxe version 567. Okay, what are you getting in the deluxe version? Yeah, deluxe version Hadaka replacement if you are into that. Now, okay, I'm just zooming in a little over here. This is not the same as the anime or manga, but you know, for a realistic face, very pretty. This is almost like, you know, one of the best cosplayers out there doing a near perfect cosplay of an anime or game character. This is what it feels like to me. So despite the realistic face conversion, you can still recognize the character very easily. Yeah, and this kind of skill, very few cosplayers have it. Yeah, very few. Okay, moving on to the next one over here, we have one single figure from Evangelion, Asuka JK Girl by Expose Studio. 1x4 version is only 257 and 1x6 scale 191. Yeah, small price gap, they're not that big. 1x4 scale is not a bad idea because you know this is a squatting figure. Even at 1x4 scale, it won't be very big. It won't be expensive to ship. So you might want to consider something like this to be at 1x4 scale. Yep, the face is a bit unlike Asuka. This is what I call fan art interpretation. You know, you let another artist draw his or her favorite anime character and that person does it in their own style. This is what it feels like. Nothing wrong with it. It is all subjective whether you like it or not. Moving on to the next one. Quite a surprise to see a third party doing a 02 over here. I haven't seen one in a long time. By Diamond Studio, $191 at 1x6 scale. You know, the unfortunate thing about 02 is that her genuine figures, be it especially the one by Max Factory, yeah, the one that has no clothes on, that one is quite rare nowadays. Yeah, it is not impossible to find, but expect to pay above market price for it. Not in a bad way. Maybe you pay 30% more, 50% more if it gets really bad, but not double the official price. At least that is based on what I've seen. And over here in Malaysia, you can still find that figure in some stores. Yeah, they would ask a premium for it, but not too bad. Still reasonable in my opinion. Yeah, the Max Factory no clothes version is my favorite version, but you know, if I get one, how do I even review it on YouTube? Okay. And as for this one over here, I don't have a problem with the face at all. I think her face looks great. Just that, you know, try to get the Max Factory one first, or maybe even Aniplex version, which is very rare and expensive as well. I wouldn't say very rare, but very expensive aftermarket value. But yeah, not a bad addition to fans of 02, not a bad addition to a collection. Up next, we have one single free run figure by PW Studio, $137 only because she is just wearing one single white color piece of dress, you know. Nothing much to see here, and don't bother. Buy the one by Kotobukiya, by Good Smile, don't bother with this one. I don't see it being worth it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to free run for a second. $137 is about almost 19,000, 20,000 Japanese yen, right? And for under 20k, you can get the Good Smile version of free run. It is not the best looking free run figure because in the post was a bit bland and boring, but you get a diorama base, right? For 18k. Why pay $137 for this thing? Sometimes it feels like, you know, the resin figure brands, they are not necessarily good businessmen in a way, not good entrepreneurs. It is like an artist wanting to sell his or her own artwork as a figurine, but they don't do their homework, they don't do their market research, and then, you know, whatever they come up with, they try to sell it, and this is a bad example of what not to sell. Up next, we have one single 1x4 scale over here by Mona Studio, a licensed resin figure, or statue rather in this case, Ghostblade series Aeolian. Yeah, quite popular for some reason, many brands made it. And this is 1x3 scale by the way, standard version is going for 2,177, almost 2,200. And then deluxe version, 2618, because you're getting, a full figure plus the throne over there by 1/3 scale it is nuts. It is crazy. It feels like putting something on an altar just to pray it every day in a way. This is ridiculous, man. The whole thing, this picture over here at 1/3 scale, try to imagine that for a second. Or you can get the bust figure earlier at 1/1 scale for $3,350. This is something for the ultra rich, too rich for my blood. Moving on to the next one, we have two original figures from Apex Studio. This is different from Apex Toys. This is a resin figure brand. Original character Ninja Black Line, and for some reason this figure feels so familiar. It is like someone has done a figure with a very similar pose before. Yeah. And this is not an edgy figure. Yeah, it is an edgy figure. I mean, you can swap the parts out, just that I have to cover up the important parts, you know. Reminds me of Ibuki from Street Fighter, really. The character was a bit difficult to use in the game, but I enjoyed using that character when I played like Street Fighter 4, I think. Okay, moving on to the second one over here. Yeah, Apex Studio can be very creative with their degenerate figures at times. Original character Anobi's women. Yeah, we have Anobi. This is like a lewd version of Nito Chris from FGO. 1/6 scale, $314, which is fair because you know you're actually getting two figures over here. This actually blew up on my Facebook as well. For some reason, people like stuff like this. Yeah, quite popular. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. One single figure from Azur Lane, Implaceable by Queen Studio. Okay, so version A at 1/6 scale starts from $274, and then at 1/4 scale, $501, and then there are the Hadaka parts, and as usual, can go all the way up to over $700 over here. The thing with Implaceable is that, you know, I don't like the face on this one that much. It feels like the genuine brands have done a better job. There was a... What studio was it? Was it ACY Studio? I think it was ACY Studio. Did a 1/4 of her as well. And that was really good looking. This one over here, what do you think about the face? Maybe it is subjective. You might like it, but I don't. It is a bit different from the Implaceable that I know. Yeah. With third-party resins, the first thing I check is always the face because of different art styles. And then the next one here, we have 4 Honkai Star Rail figures, I think 4 of them, 4 or 5. The first one is by RF Studio with Runway in Chinese clothing, standard version, $229, and then high-end version, $257, yeah, Hadaka body. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, this looks fine. This reminds me of a very similar Hatsune Miku figure Good Small Arts Shanghai put on pre-order not too long ago. Very similar. I wonder if they got their inspirations from there, because a lot of third parties, right, it is like they are remixing what they saw in genuine figures. They take a bit from this figure, a bit from that figure, and then they cross over. They do that a lot. And yeah, nothing wrong with that really, just that, you know, I see so many figures every week. I do news every week. And when I spot something similar, I will remember it. Moving on to the second Honkai figure, we have Jade from Sona Studio. Okay, I don't see many resin figures of her for some reason. Is she not that popular or something? Okay, regular wear version. Okay, doesn't matter. That is TBD. So the price is not yet confirmed yet. Yeah, regular wear version is the one you're looking on screen, and then Hadaka version, and then deluxe you get both. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, I like her face. This looks good. Yeah, CGI render for sure, but it looks good. Yeah, not many figures of Jade. You might want to consider it. The next Honkai figure. Okay, 3 figures of Yunli suddenly. Is this a new character in Honkai? I mean, I'm not playing the game. Please let me know. Okay, so we'll begin with the most normal looking ones before we go for the degenerate ones, right? Okay, Arctic Wolf Studio is known for edgy figures actually. They are not that innocent. Anyways, this is the normal version. The normal version is going for $235 US. R18 version, same exact figure but no clothes on. And then deluxe you get both for $373. Yeah, Arctic Wolf Studio is a studio you can trust. Don't worry too much. Their figures, I mean, they are not top-end third-party resin figure brand. They are around rank B to B plus, but their stuff are okay actually, based on so many pictures I've seen across 5 or 6 different figures they have released in the past few months. The second one over here by Blink Studio, Damaged Clothes Yunli. Okay, normal version is going for $191. Yeah, and then hard eye hits. Okay, different face sculpt, and then you can get the unpainted figure as well. Yeah, the B version, get to see the faceplate over there. Maybe you want the B version, right, for a post like this. No, this is not the most degenerate one yet. The third one is, but unfortunately I can't put any picture on, but go and check out the one made by Alice 21 Studio. Wait, is this the most degenerate one, or is there a fourth one? But this is my favorite version among the three. Alice 21 Studio, this is my favorite version. It looks really detailed, has a very nice sword behind her, and she is tied up, ready to be abused. uh, that is how degenerate figures are designed to be. Okay, standard version begins from $187. Yeah. Okay, for edgy figures, it makes no sense to buy standard version because this is the kind of figure you want to see without any clothes on. Like for normal looking figures, like Arctic Wolf Studio version, yeah, I would be content with standard version. I wouldn't want to buy so many figures with extra parts or extra entire figures. I don't have space for them. Eventually, my studio will run out of space if I keep getting 2 or 3 figures for every single figure purchase. But for something like this, yeah, the one by Alice Studio, yeah, deluxe version. Okay, and okay, that is all. 5 Honkai figures. Now we have 2 Blue Archive Kisaki no, 2 Blue Archive figures. The first one is Kisaki. I love the pose so much. Oh, she looks dry. She wants it. I love it so much. I love my lollies. And this is not official price yet. I don't see this one costing $400. This is more like $250 to $300 territory when I factor in the base over there. And maybe a Hadaka body part. $300 maybe. By Spirit Demon Studio, I need to pay more attention to this brand. They are making some good looking stuff lately, judging by the product pictures. And the second Blue Archive figure, Degenerate stuff by PP Saw Studio, PP Jiang Studio, Ichinose Asuna. Yeah, no price yet, and this is more like an early bird pre-order or an announcement. We don't have price, we don't have release date yet, so I might update it in a separate episode. Next one, we have one single Triple Z figure. I'll just call it Triple Z, Zenless Zone 0. Nicole Demara by Celluloid Studio. Okay, standard version is going for $272 or not yet confirmed the price, and high version Hadaka part for $332. Okay, the thing with Celluloid Studio, right, I almost purchased their Nikkei figure, that pink bunny. Alice, right? Oh, name is Alice. Okay. And then when I saw final product pictures of her, would I regret it if I had purchased that one? I would say no. She still looks fine. Just that, the only reason why I backed off and did not purchase the Alice figure by Celluloid Studio was because Alter and Flare announced their version, and yeah, it looked amazing. So I would just settle for the Flare version because I know their figures are top tier quality, and that is why I backed off from buying the Celluloid Studio version. But otherwise, I think the figures looked okay, at least based on user pictures. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have 2 figures from Wuthering Waves. So the first one is Yinlin by Nia Studio. Standard, okay, you get 1/6 scale, standard, $378. That is including Hadaka part, by the way. They are throwing everything in. You don't get to choose with or without. And okay. Wow, OzGK, you guys should proofread the stuff you put on pre-order, man. 1/6 scale is $272 and 1/4 scale is $378. They typed it wrongly. I need to inform them. Anyways, this is a very good looking figure of Ginlin, seriously. This is a really good looking one. Oh, The details are my kind of thing. And the second Yinlin figure over here, which is not bad either, but I am favoring the one by Nia Studio. The second one is by Juicy Studio, $274 at 1/6 scale, and that is including the Hadaka part. So let's just take a look at this one single picture. For this one, I like her face quite a bit. This is a tough choice between the two. I like the expression on this a little bit more, but overall, the entire figure, if I look at the whole package, I like this more. Yeah, maybe because I'm looking at this from the perspective of a photographer, and I really hate this transparent thing over here. They look terrible. If not done properly, when you take photos of them in studio lighting, you know? Yeah. Both of them are great buys, really. You can't go wrong with any, assuming there is nothing wrong with the studios, of course. And the next one over here, one single Genshin figure. Yeah, we are starting to see less and less Genshin figures. Perhaps we have had enough already. And do you guys see the genuine figure brands picking up Genshin figures, like more characters? I don't see it happening, to be honest. Yeah, and even the third parties are slowing down already. This is a low effort Raiden Shogun figure with no clothes on for $159. The price is not yet confirmed, but I doubt that the price would deviate too much from that $159 price point. Maybe it will go for even cheaper than this. And the last figure for today, something degenerate. This doesn't really look like 2B to me for some reason. I mean, this is too thick to be 2B. This is an original character. They even called this figure Degenerate and Wedding Dress. Yeah, two versions, Degenerate version, the one you're seeing on screen, and a Wedding Dress version, but probably can still see a lot down there. And this is 1/4 scale, $378 each. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. This is a tough week for me. I am busy. I just bought something very expensive. I will talk about it in a separate video in future, but it is not a figure. So seeing so many expensive figures going on pre-orders and they are the stuff I want, this is rough, man. Okay, and that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Until then, if you found this video helpful or informative or entertaining, give this video a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.